"Shake what your mama gave you." This phrase, often heard in moments of exuberance and celebration, has become a staple in popular culture. But what does it really mean? And what are the implications of such a seemingly harmless statement? This seemingly innocuous phrase, often uttered in jest or celebration, carries a weighty legacy of objectification. It has roots that dig deep into the history of how society views and values women, often reducing them to mere physical attributes. It reduces women to their physical attributes, implying that their worth is tied to their ability to entertain and titillate. This reductionist view is perpetuated through various forms of media, from advertisements to social media, where women are often encouraged to present themselves in ways that appeal to the male gaze. This phrase, often internalized from a young age, sets the stage for the digital landscape where women navigate the complexities of self-expression under the ever-present male gaze. Young girls grow up seeing these messages and internalize them, believing that their value is tied to their appearance. This essay aims to unpack the uncomfortable reality of how this objectification manifests in the digital age, particularly within the realm of social media. Social media platforms have become a battleground where women are constantly judged and evaluated based on their looks. We'll delve into the societal pressures that compel women to prioritize physical appearance in their online presence and the stark disparity between the value placed on their bodies versus their creative output. The pressure to conform to certain beauty standards can be overwhelming, leading many women to spend countless hours curating their online personas. Furthermore, we'll explore the hypocrisy of male consumption, where criticism of female nudity often coexists with active viewership and financial support. Men who criticize women for their appearance are often the same ones who consume and support the very content they deride. This exploration will uncover the systemic suppression of genuine, creative female voices struggling for visibility amidst a sea of objectified bodies. Women who wish to express themselves creatively often find their voices drowned out by the overwhelming focus on physical appearance. Ultimately, this essay seeks to challenge the status quo, urging a societal shift towards valuing and amplifying the multifaceted talents and perspectives of women beyond their physical forms. It's a call to action for society to recognize and celebrate the diverse contributions of women in all fields. It's time to reimagine a digital world where women are celebrated for their intelligence, creativity and resilience, not just their ability to shake what their mama gave them. By shifting our focus from physical appearance to the myriad talents and strengths women possess, we can create a more inclusive and equitable society for all. In the digital age, social media platforms have become the modern-day Colosseum. Here, individuals showcase their talents and strive for recognition and ultimately financial success. However, for women, the rules of the game are skewed. The algorithm, often driven by engagement metrics, inadvertently rewards content that conforms to traditional beauty standards and caters to the male gaze. This creates a system where a woman's body becomes a form of currency. The more revealing the outfit, the more suggestive the pose, the higher the likelihood of going viral, garnering followers, and attracting lucrative brand deals. This phenomenon transcends platforms, from the perfectly curated lives of Instagram influencers to the more explicit realms of content subscription services like OnlyFans. The pressure to monetize one's appearance becomes almost inescapable, creating a cycle where women are incentivized to commodify their bodies to compete in the attention economy. This dynamic not only perpetuates harmful beauty standards, but also undermines the value of women's intellectual and creative contributions. The disparity between the value placed on women's bodies and their creative output is not just anecdotal, it's backed by stark statistics. This issue is pervasive across various forms of media, from traditional film and television to the ever-evolving landscape of social media platforms. A 2020 study by the Gina Davis Institute on Gender in Media found that female characters in films and television are twice as likely to be shown in sexually revealing clothing. This trend is not just a reflection of societal norms, but also a driver of them, perpetuating a cycle where women's bodies are commodified for entertainment and are more likely to be objectified by the camera. This objectification is not limited to the characters themselves, but extends to the way scenes are shot, often focusing on body parts rather than the person as a whole. This bias extends to social media, where posts featuring women in revealing attire or engaging in sexually suggestive behavior consistently garner higher engagement rates. The algorithms that drive these platforms often prioritize such content, creating a feedback loop that rewards and perpetuates these behaviors. A 2019 analysis by the Pew Research Center found that while women are more likely to use social media, men are more likely to have their content shared and go viral. This disparity highlights a significant imbalance in how content is valued and disseminated across genders. This suggests that even when women create content that doesn't center on their physical appearance, it faces an uphill battle for visibility and recognition. The algorithms and audience biases work against them, making it harder for their creative efforts to gain traction. This systemic undervaluing of female creativity has real-world consequences. It affects not only the individual creators, but also the broader cultural landscape, limiting the diversity of voices and perspectives that are heard and valued. It reinforces the notion that a woman's worth is primarily tied to her physical attributes, a damaging message that can affect self-esteem and mental health. This societal pressure to conform to certain beauty standards can be overwhelming and detrimental, limiting her opportunities for professional advancement and economic empowerment. When women's creative contributions are undervalued, it not only stifles their potential, but also deprives society of the full range of human creativity and innovation. Addressing this disparity is crucial for fostering a more equitable and inclusive cultural landscape. Section 4. A crisis of male gaze, examining the hypocrisy of consumption. While societal pressures undoubtedly play a role in shaping the landscape of female content creation, it's crucial to acknowledge the other side of the equation, male consumption. The content that women create is often a direct response to what garners the most attention and engagement, and much of this attention comes from male viewers. Men are not passive bystanders in this ecosystem. They are active participants, their clicks, likes and subscriptions fueling the demand for body-focused content. This dynamic creates a feedback loop where the content that gets the most engagement is often the most objectifying, perpetuating a cycle that is hard to break. This creates a disconcerting hypocrisy. On one hand, men may express disdain for the objectification of women, yet their online actions tell a different story. This duality is not just a minor inconsistency, it is a significant contradiction that has far-reaching implications. While men may publicly decry the objectification of women and champion the need for more meaningful content, their online behavior often contradicts these sentiments. They may advocate for change in public forums, yet in private, their actions contribute to the very issues they speak against. The same men who criticize the over-sexualization of women online are often the ones consuming and financially supporting the creators who perpetuate it. This financial support is not insignificant. It is a powerful driver that shapes the kind of content that is produced and consumed. This dissonance highlights the deeply ingrained nature of the male gaze. It is a lens through which men have been conditioned to view women, often without even realizing it. This conditioning is not just about overt sexism, it is about subtle, everyday actions that collectively reinforce harmful stereotypes. It's not just about overt sexism or a conscious desire to objectify women, it's about a societal conditioning that has taught men to view women through a lens of physical evaluation. This lens is pervasive, affecting how men interact with content and, by extension, how content is created. This ingrained bias manifests in subtle ways, from the casual scrolling through Instagram feeds to the more deliberate act of subscribing to platforms like OnlyFans. Each click, like, and subscription is a small but significant act that contributes to a larger cultural narrative. Understanding this dynamic is crucial for addressing the root causes of the objectification of women online. It requires a willingness to look inward and examine one's own behaviors and the impact they have on the broader ecosystem of content creation and consumption. By fostering greater awareness and encouraging more responsible consumption habits, it is possible to create a more equitable and respectful online environment. This change won't happen overnight, but it starts with each individual taking responsibility for their actions and choices. In the end, the power to change the narrative lies in the hands of the consumers. By making more conscious choices, men can help shift the focus from objectification to appreciation, from superficiality to substance. This is not just a call to action, it is a call to reflection and transformation. Section 5. The price of authenticity. The struggle for visibility beyond the body. For women who dare to defy these unwritten rules of online engagement, the consequences can be significant. Those who choose not to conform to the narrow beauty standards or who prioritize sharing their intellect, creativity and authentic selves often find themselves struggling to gain traction in the digital space. Their content, though insightful, thought-provoking or skillfully crafted, gets lost in the deluge of perfectly posed selfies and carefully curated lives. The algorithms designed to prioritize engagement fail to recognize the value of substance over surface-level appeal. This creates a discouraging reality for women who aspire to use their voices and talents to make a meaningful impact. They are forced to make a difficult choice, conform to the demands of the algorithm, and risk compromising their authenticity, or stay true to themselves and accept the likelihood of limited reach and recognition. Section 6. Redefining success, challenging the equation of wealth and respect. The pervasiveness of body-focused content raises a broader societal question. What do we value, and more importantly, who do we respect? In a world increasingly obsessed with social media metrics, it's easy to fall into the trap of equating wealth and influence with worthiness of respect. However, this equation is dangerously reductive. It fails to consider the means by which wealth and influence are attained and the potential consequences of prioritizing these metrics above all else. When we celebrate individuals solely for their ability to amass followers and generate revenue, regardless of the nature of their content or its impact on society, we contribute to a culture that prioritizes superficiality over substance. This is particularly problematic when it comes to content that reinforces harmful gender stereotypes and perpetuates the objectification of women.